First of all, this is the foundation on which Food from the Sky was created. And the first one, which is Earth Care, is really about including all of life in what we do, so to make sure that nothing is harmed, that actually what we do benefit and enhances our environment. So the idea of leaving it better than when we found it. And Earth Care for me is inclusive of all beings, all animals, all insects. That's why we did the biodiversity. It's a very important part of Food from the Sky. It's not just about humans, so it's not a human-centered project. However, then I go to the second one. People Care is really about, we have quite a few people involved in this project. It's very much a community, and there again, to make sure that everyone feels valued, feels that they can develop their skills, that their gifts are really wanted and needed and appreciated, almost I want to say that people feel that when they leave Food from the Sky, they feel more alive and appreciated than when they came in. And then that's very basic. We can go in more detail. And then the third one is Fair Share. And that is not to take more than what we are going to give back. Fair Share is about when we look at what resources we use for the roof, what resources we use for the whole organization, that we don't take more than what we can give back. It's really important. So that's why we used a lot of material that we found that was already used. We upcycle and recycle and get donations, look at skips, and that it is not a for-profit company. That was also part of Fair Share, that we don't have bonuses, we don't have big fat bonuses, that any input we have is then planted back into the project. And that was also part of the relationship we have with the supermarket, where they do not take a cut and is replanted into the project or the organization. Yeah. So the Earth Care, what we have in that our focus is very much equally as important for the environment that we are on the roof. Also, we have really planted and grown flowers and crops that are beneficial to other beings, like all the pollinators, but also, you know, beings that are not useful to us, that just because they're alive and they have a place to be. So that's been very important. That's one of the things I can think of. The second one, People Care. What we do, for example, is when we have volunteer sessions, is to do a check-in, to really value where people are, to be inclusive, to be, I want to say, encompassing of any state people come. You know, some people are very fragile some days, or tired, or not quite there, and it's okay for them to voice that, and they can still be part of the community. So that's very much also another part of People Care, is that they are not expected to always be in full health and in full happiness. If they don't feel like that, and hopefully they feel they can come in any states they're in. So that's another part of People Care. And also to really acknowledge the different kind of communities that are part of Food from the Sky, like the one that we can talk about in another part of the template, but is the community of the supermarket. And this incredible variety and wonderful diversity having 31 languages spoken, and truly respect and honor and be interested and curious about that part of our community, as well as the children, the local community, the food grower community, all the different communities that are touching each other. And then the fair share. The fair share was also, for example, when we price our produce, to make it in a way that is not exclusive and just for people who can afford it, but that we share our resources with the wider circle of people, the wider circle of our community, while also needing to survive. So it's always a tension, but it's important to have that when we make decisions. How can we share our resources as much as we can? And also the books, the projector, all the things we have is offered to the community to use. So it's not just for us. Great question. I think it's, for me personally, I think those values, those ethos bring the heart. Really the heart, and include, again, I'm repeating myself, but it seems to be the one, is that it's inclusive of all of life. A social enterprise is wonderful, but as it says, it's very much human-centered. It's very much around how to benefit humans, other humans, communities. Great, really important. And it's very important to look at how we treat our environment and how we treat other beings, especially in cities, where we really need to welcome those other beings and create habitats where they can feel comfortable and have food.